So we're going to look at how to solve literal equations. Literal equations are the ones that don't have any numbers in it unless there's a fraction out front, but you're not going to get a solution that looks normal. We're not going to get x equals 7 as our answer. We're going to have a lot of variables in there. So some helpful hints when we go through literal equations is to do PEMDAS backwards. Remember, we're undoing. So with PEMDAS, to undo an equation, think about it like this. When we are doing the problem, we put our pants on in the morning and then our shoes. But when we come home at night, when we want to undo the problem, when we want to undo, we would then take our shoes off and then our pants. So we are undoing the problem. So we're going to do PEMDAS backwards. Okay. Second hint, I guess, that I would give you is go ahead and remove any fractions that you see. So potentially if you have a 1/2 or a 2/3 in there, how we remove fractions is you multiply through by the reciprocal. Okay, so then let's take a look. One of my problems that we would look at is if I gave you something that looked like this, and I have k equals m times v squared all over 2. And I'm going to tell you the variable to solve for, so I'm asking you to solve for m. So this is my goal. I need to get this m right there alone. I have to get everything else gone. So what I see is I see that m is being multiplied by v squared. M is also being divided by 2. So we do need to take care of that multiplication and division to get m alone. So what we would want to do, step number 2 says we're going to remove that fraction. Right now I'm being divided by 2. So some of you right now say, hey, I can multiply both sides by 2. Let's get rid of that fraction. Absolutely. 2 in the denominator is the same thing as 1/2. So therefore the reciprocal of that would be 2. So I am multiplying through by that reciprocal. So this would then give me 2k equals mv squared. Now remember, this m is my goal to get it alone. So right now m is being multiplied by v squared, and what gets rid of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by v squared. And now I have m is equal to 2k divided by v squared. This is my answer for this literal equation. Now, if I looked at something a little bit harder, and we see that I have area equals 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. This is the area of a trapezoid formula. And my goal is to solve for base 1. So let's go ahead and make a note of where that base 1 is. It's inside that set of parentheses. So when I'm inside the set of parentheses, I can't really touch anything until everything outside of it is gone. So what I first need to do, let's get rid of that 1/2 and that h. So I, just like step number 2 up there said, to remove fractions, we're going to multiply through by the reciprocal. So I see that 1/2. But remember, reciprocal means we flip that fraction. So when I multiply through by 2, 2 is the reciprocal of 1/2. So I'm going to multiply this side by 2, and rule of algebra, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. This 2 will cancel out that 1/2. The reciprocals cancel each other. So then I'm going to be left with 2a equals h times b1 plus b2. Well, again, my goal, I have to get this b1 alone. I still have that h on the outside. When you have a number or a variable on that outside, that implies multiplication. So in order for me to get rid of this h, I'm going to divide by h. So I have to clear that out. And I will then have 2a all over h is now equal to, and I only have what's left in the parentheses, so I don't have to write those parentheses anymore. That's all that was left. My goal is still to get b1 by itself. So in order to get b1 by itself, is I'm going to subtract that b2. This was a plus sign right there. So to do that opposite operation like we've been doing, we would subtract b2 on both sides, and I would then end with a final answer of 2a over h minus b2 is equal to b1. This would be my literal equation solution.